Q Country 102.9 presents Roos Day Tuesday, a weekly discussion with SUNY Canton men's basketball head coach Ben Thompson, giving you the inside scoop on all things SUNY Canton basketball. Q Country 102.9, it's Tuesday, December 4th, and that means time for another edition of Roos Day Tuesday. Joining me in the studio, as always, head coach of the SUNY Canton men's basketball team, Ben Thompson. Coming off a 3-game win streak, their record right now 4-3, undefeated in their conference after this weekend's back-to-back wins at Thomas College. And those wins, 76-68 for Game 1 and 77-71 to Game 2. Now, those are pretty similar scores, but Ben, does this mean that there was a similar game plan for both of those games, or what did you change from Game 1 and Game 2, and how did your players respond?
Yeah, so similar game plans for both games. And a lot of times you'll check the final score and they'll, both games look pretty similar. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of the old adage, they don't draw pictures on the scorecard when you're playing golf, right? So a par is a par, a birdie's a birdie.
Yeah.
The first day we played pretty well. We had some lapses, but we played pretty well. And for the most part, in the second half, it was a double-digit game, and then they hit a late three with like 2 seconds left. So that one was one that we kind of gotten out to a pretty healthy lead and was able to kind of maintain it and sustain it and shot free throws pretty well. And then the second day they made some adjustments. We made some adjustments. It was kind of more of a battle back and forth. I think they got up maybe by 5 with about 5 minutes to go. And then we came back and took the lead and kind of finished it off with the free throws at the end.
Yeah, some stats that I thought were pretty impressive. For Game 2, where you won 77-71, your bench outscored their bench 38 points for you and only 8 points to them. What do you like about that other than everything?
Yeah, we've got a senior coming off the bench right now, Jordan Stewart. The guy's calling J.O., who's really skilled and could start for us. But he is kind of relished the role that he's coming off the bench and kind of that spark and just a really athletic, attacking, skilled guard. And, he played really well.
He led all scorers with 19 points on your team
on Saturday.
Yeah,
and then George provides kind of the same thing, but just kind of down in the post. And so it was good to get both of those wins. I was proud of our guys for kind of grinding it out. I know it's still fairly early, but to touch on George, we had obviously we go over scouting report stuff, and we talk about some of their forwards and kind of what they like to do in the post. And late in the game, where the game was tight, George did exactly what we mentioned in the scouting report as a freshman and got a massive block that led to 2 points for us. So it was nice to kind of see that from him, and the team really kind of focused in on the scouting report as well. But specifically that moment was big, and it was kind of like, okay, he figured out the scouting report and he listened to what we were telling him and he did it, and that was a huge reason that we won the game.
That's what you want to see your players respond to, how you're coaching them. Now, from what I've seen earlier in the week when you had your game against St. Joseph's, I noticed personally that you guys were playing much better in the paint. You weren't taking as many shots from three-point range, and that held true this weekend as well. This weekend, you only attempted 13 shots from three, and I've seen games where you've attempted 30, 32. Was taking less three-point shots scripted? Was that something that you wanted to play to your advantage or a disadvantage for them? Explain something like that to me.
Yeah, we like to shoot the three for sure, but it was something that we really try to do against, against both teams and in all 3 games, was to really kind of pound it inside. And I think it led to better threes, even though we didn't take as many, because, when you're attacking inside, getting the ball inside, that opens things up out on the perimeter. So anytime you can attack the middle of the floor or the paint, it really opens things up for your guards. And so I thought we did a much better job of that over the last week.
So yeah, coming off the 3-game win streak right now, you've got some tough competition just across town. You're going to be playing SUNY Potsdam tonight at 7 p.m. Your last home game in December, if you can believe that. I want to talk about that more when we come back for Roos Day Tuesday on Q Country 102.9. Q Country 102.9 presents Roos Day Tuesday, a weekly discussion with SUNY Canton men's basketball head coach Ben Thompson, giving you the inside scoop on all things SUNY Canton basketball. Q Country 102.9 back in the studio for Roos Day Tuesday, and with me I've got head coach of SUNY Canton men's basketball team, Ben Thompson. We've got a game today. It's not a conference game, but it's a game that's just across town, so it means something to your guys. Tonight, SUNY Canton plays SUNY Potsdam at the Roos House at 7 p.m. And coming off a 3-game win streak where you went back-to-back wins in conference games this past weekend, what's different about how you're preparing this game where, although it's not a conference game, it's still important to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's important. It's probably more important to our guys and people in the community than it is
hometown feeling.
Yeah, than it is really the staff. You know, we just kind of prepare for each game, as its own entity. So the preparation is pretty similar. It's just that, based on who we play and what they do, we have to make different adjustments and different tweaks to what we do and to kind of give us the best chance to be successful.
Now, you've said to me before that you think that you play a really, really tough schedule out of conference, and you said that best prepares you for your conference games. Now, looking at SUNY Potsdam, a team that just beat Clarkson this past week, what do you think their strengths are going into this game that compared to some of your conference strengths?
Yeah, so they do a really good job of pushing the ball in transition. They're really physical and aggressive defensively and try to take you out of what you want to do. They do a lot of switching, sometimes even 1 through 5. So, that'll create its own challenges for us. In transition, we've got to protect the basket and pick up the ball. Those are the two most important things. And once you do those two things, all is kind of right with the world.
So that game going to be a great game. SUNY Canton taking on SUNY Potsdam tonight at 7 p.m. at the Roos House. And looking forward, the next time we talk to you, you'll already have 2 other games other than SUNY Potsdam under your belt, both away games. You're taking on Alfred University on Saturday and Cazenovia this Sunday. And then we'll be able to talk about it next week. But really exciting coming up. You've got the chance to play with SUNY Canton at the Barclays Center, which is where the Brooklyn Nets play. You'll be playing Paul Smith College. Now, is that something that you guys have been excited for all weekend? I know we'll talk about it more next week, but just give me, a general idea as to what the whispers are in the locker room.
Yeah, I think I'd be naive to think that, guys aren't really excited about it. And, almost half our team is from New York City and the surrounding areas. So I know they're thinking about it. They're excited about it. But we're just trying to kind of narrow their focus for tonight, and then we'll move forward, for the weekend. And then after we get through that, we can focus on exams and the Barclays.
Of course. And, speaking of those away games coming up, this game tonight against SUNY Potsdam is your last home game until January, where you start your run of conference games. How do you think your team plays on the road, and was this road adventure over the past weekend something that's promising for you as a coach?
I think most teams probably play better at home. You're just more comfortable. You sleep in your own bed. You're more familiar, all those things. On the road, it's difficult. It's just hard. It's like going to somebody else's house. You're a little uncomfortable. You're not really sure where everything is. It's really, really hard to win conference games. Really hard. Just because the heightened weight in those games.
Yeah.
And so it's really difficult to win those games, especially on the road. And for us to win both of them was huge, was massive for us.
So don't miss out tonight, 7 p.m., as the Roos look to continue their win streak against SUNY Potsdam. This will be their last home game and your last chance to see the Roos at home until January. And as always, for more information on the Roos and their season, check out our website, q1029.com, under the morning light. This has been your Roos Day Tuesday edition for December 4th. There's only one more thing to say.
Go Roos!